Hello replay viewers, hello live viewers, hi Miracles, hi Iris, hi Melissa, hi Tamara, hi Millicane. How's everybody tonight? Whoops. Hello, hello. I'm going to put my glasses on because I look really crazy tonight. How are you? I'm just getting organized. I've been at a workshop. Hey, Iris. How are you? You're okay? Good. I'm okay too. A little discombobulated, but that's kind of normal for me. I'm in the middle of, actually Iris is in the middle of a cleanse too, and I'm doing a 7-day intensive workshop right now. So emotional healing stuff going on. So it's been big. I'm feeling like, you know, Max with fixing my hair. No. Anyways, how's everyone? I'm gonna see if anybody else comes in the room. I'm putting some music on here. So are you guys, some of you, Tamara was in here and she's familiar. We started lesson 1 last night, Love You. And with Gabby Bernstein's book. Yeah, it's still up in the mountains. I'm here until Saturday. So I'm doing this book study. So it's 108 lessons. So it fits right in there with your malas. Iris makes mala bead necklaces. Well, mala beads. Malas. I'll figure it out. Yeah, I think I'm going to put on some chakra meditation because I'm feeling a little bit... Yeah, it was a big deal. The intensive workshops, yes, exactly. The intensive workshop going on right now is, there's about 60 of us, and we're all bad connection. Oh, okay. Sorry about the connection. It could be because I'm up in the mountain. It was good for most people last night. I'm going to start with the root chakra. So anyways, it's you. Hi. It is you. You were here last night, Melissa. Oh, no, you weren't here last night. No, Tamara was on last night with me when I did my lesson 1. So anyways, lesson 1 was Happiness is a Choice I Make. So this book, Gabrielle Bernstein, some have called her the new Marianne Williamson. So she has studied A Course in Miracles. So it's all with the, thanks for inviting followers, Iris. So it's all based on the A Course in Miracles tenets, basically. So she quotes them a lot. She's a Kundalini yoga instructor. So she is very intense with that as well. This book is quite phenomenal. So today, lesson number 2 is clean up your side of the street. And it's literally only 2 pages. But I need you to bring, if you want to go and bring a pen and paper with you, because you're going to be writing a little bit. Thanks for the hearts. Carmen D. Oh my Carmen, how are you, love? Do you have a pen and paper, Carmen? Because we're going to be talking fears today. Clean up your side of the street. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so glad my Carmen is here. Carmen is one of my very best friends in Calgary. So she, yeah, I'm so glad that you're in here. I'm, of course, glad everyone is there. Hi, Carmen. Yes. I love you too, sweetie. I miss you, actually. I wish you were here at this workshop. Carmen, say hi to Iris. Iris is my friend from Periscope, and I love her dearly. And Tamara was on here, and Melissa too. So they're I know them both from I know them both from Periscope as well. Yeah, all rainbows and kisses. Okay, so clean up your side of the street. If you want to live a miraculous life, you must be willing to look at your behavior and take responsibility for the life you've created up until now. This first technique, or the first technique, which was just focusing on happiness being a choice, this practice, the first technique helped you understand how happiness is a choice. Now it's time to deepen this understanding by witnessing how you've chosen fear over happiness. And I know I've done that countless times in my life, is allowed myself to stay small and not move forward and not succeed and not, just because fear was a big deal. Hi, Tamara. So this practice will help you become the non-judgmental witness of your fears. So we just have to witness them rather than express them in life. Like, just witness them as they're coming up. So why I asked for your pen and paper, it says to make a list of your top 10 biggest fears. And I will show you that I actually did this work myself. I did this before coming on here. So I have my 10 fears and I'll read them out to you. And as you look closely at these fears, get honest about how they've dominated your life. See how your thoughts have created your reality. Then next to each fear, write down a reason that you believe this fear to be true. I haven't written that down, but that's what I thought I would do here. Write as little or as much as you desire. There's only one rule. Get honest. You may find that your fear is based on an experience from your past that you've been replaying over and over for decades. Or you may come to see how your fear is based on a future event that hasn't even happened. As you look at your fears head on, you'll begin to see how much of what you fear is just false evidence appearing real. When you act on this false evidence, you create chaos in your life. This practice will guide you to focus more on your side of the street and take responsibility for the world you see, which is all A Course in Miracles. This exercise can bring up a lot of funky feelings and can be very hard at first. With this in mind, I will arm you with a beautiful prayer from A Course in Miracles. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by your fears, simply recite this prayer out loud, surrender, and allow healing to set in. Take this from me and look upon it, judging it for me. Hi, Kendra. Did you bring your pen and paper? Teach me how not to make of it an obstacle to peace. You didn't get a notification. That's okay. I think it's because I'm up in the mountains. Now it's your turn to remind others to look closely at their fears. Start planting the seed of positivity with today's miracle message. Miracle message number 2. I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. And I'll write that down. So we will go back over this, and I choose so if you guys want to list I will read it once more, but in the interim, Kendra, with the I love it too. If you start thinking of your 10 top biggest fears, so you've named a couple of them last night being like your fear of success, or not, well, fear of moving forward. I needed this today too, Carmen. I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. And that is #miracles now. So here is the message. I'm just going to flip that down because that is... because I know Kendra wanted to turn these into pictures. Thank you for taking that picture, Kendra. Okay, So I'm going to read it one more time. I saw that little picture come up. If you want to live, okay, so it's titled Clean Up Your Side of the Street. If you want to live a miraculous life, you must be willing to look at your behavior and take responsibility for the life you've created up until now. The first technique helped you understand that happiness is a choice. Cher, hi, welcome again. Now it's time to deepen this understanding by witnessing how you've chosen fear over happiness. This practice will help you become the non-judgmental witness of your fears. So make a list of your top 10 biggest fears, and as you look closely at these fears, get honest about how they've dominated your life. See how your thoughts have created your reality. Then next to each fear, write down the reason you believe this fear to be true. Write as little or as much as you desire. There's only one rule. Get honest. And I have done this. I've only done the first part though. I figured I could just be honest on Periscope about my fears. You may find that your fear is based on an experience from your past that you've been replaying over and over for decades. Or you may come to see how your fear is based on a future event that hasn't even happened. As you look at your fears head on, you'll begin to see how much of what you fear is just fear of being alone. That's one of mine too. Actually, mine is not being alone. Mine is being abandoned. Fear of lack. Thanks, Carmen. As you look at your fears head on, you'll begin to see how much of what fear is just false evidence appearing real. When you act on this false evidence, you create chaos in your life. This practice will guide you to focus more on your side of the street and take responsibility. You have a big list. Just 10. The top 10. This exercise brings up a lot of funky feelings and can be hard at first. With this in mind, I will arm you with that beautiful prayer from Course in Miracles. Whenever you feel overwhelmed by your fears, simply recite this prayer out loud, surrender, and allow healing to set in. Take this from me and look upon it, judging it for me. Hi, Iris. Teach me how not to make of it an obstacle to peace. Now it's your turn to remind others to look closely at their fears. Start planting the seed of positivity with today's miracle message. Hi! I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. I choose to reinterpret my fears with a more loving perspective. Yeah. So my 10 fears, right here, I did write them out. And this isn't going to seem like much to some of you, but for me it's huge. Carmen actually knows. She's seen me in extreme fear. She's had to let me get out of the driver's seat. Only 10, yes. 10 top fears, top 10 fears. She's actually had me get out of the driver's seat when we're downtown so that she can drive because I lose my marbles. So driving downtown in a big city. And I think that that is a feeling of powerlessness if I don't do it right. And maybe even a little bit of being out of control. And I think what it was it says next to each fear, write down the reason you believe this fear to be true. Well, I know that fear is true because I panic and I freeze and I can't think. It's like that's that flight or fight. I freeze. Right, Carmen? Actually, Carmen and I are probably, you don't want to go anywhere new with us. If you ever get in the vehicle, have you been there before? And if we say no, get out and take a cab somewhere, right? Although we've made it quite an adventure at different points. So number 2 of mine is being out of control. So I think that driving downtown is indicative, being out of control in all fight, flight, or freeze. Exactly. Thank you. Just a sec here. Yes. Oyen, oyen. Hey, that wasn't fearful. That we were crazy. Oh my gosh, Carmen. Yeah, Judy, exactly. Out of control. You've got it. Number 3, one of my top, is surrendering to love. I've realized since you have PhD in fears in your house, Judy, that's funny. You have a PhD in fears. You know, that's exactly how I was. I think I'm a lot better than I used to be. I've been facing my fears. And I think a lot of them is just realizing that I have, nothing really, it's a struggle, surrendering to love. Yeah, surrendering to love. I realize that I'm really nervous. Your boy has OCD really bad. I'm sorry to hear that. Is that, do you think, could that be a reaction to your fears? That's his way of controlling his environment? I don't know. It's just something. It's not my place to even say. Tell me to shut up any minute. Yeah, I don't know. Because I think my family was so out of control that I became no, your fears are for them. Oh, yeah. How old are your kids? Yeah, we can say a little prayer for your children. My son was in hospital for months. Oh my goodness. No wonder he has OCD. That's definitely 14 years old. So was that recently? Twins. Oh my goodness. Just going to say a little prayer. That you find comfort. That they find comfort and safety. I see or get a really strong sense a year ago. I get a really strong sense that they need to just, well, the one that's not doing well, he needs to surrender. He has a lot of angels around him. Like I see 2 or 3 that are around him constantly. Your other son is waiting to get in again. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah. I'm feeling like, yeah, I wish they knew that. I wish they knew that he knows. Yeah, it's interesting. It's like they're there trying to keep him. Oh, you're not taking over the scope. I don't have an agenda. I mean, I'm just working on this, and as long as it takes, you're not taking over. You need some love here, and that's what we're all here for, is to, I mean, the whole Miracles Now thing is let's create some miracles by, I mean, what's a miracle? More of a miracle than support and love. Exactly. Hi, Kevin. Yeah, we need to love each other. Hello. Welcome to the room. We're just actually helping somebody here who's having some fears. Probably no wonder that tonight lesson number 2 is about our top 10 fears. So I'm just going through my fears, and then somebody in the room here was saying that she has a PhD in fears, and I thought that was funny, but now I realize why. It's probably not far from the truth that you're very concerned. Yes, thank you, Tamara. My one son is on a wait list for a hospital for OCD. Do they help at the hospital? Have they been helping the kids? If everybody in the room right now just puts their hand on their heart, We'll just do a little bit of heart math, and we'll just breathe right into that. Breathe right into your heart chakra, into your heart center. Picture Judy calm. Judy is twin mom here. And her sons as well. That'll help calm down your fears, because our heartbeat, our heart knowledge is actually more powerful than our brain knowledge. And as soon as, yeah, there's like 2 or 3, yeah. So as soon as our heart's calm, yes, and so it is, thank you, Iris, then our minds can calm as well, because that really helps to know. I'm glad. Yeah, it was just this knowledge, and I pictured them. And I didn't see so much what's going on in the home, because you're kind of like their angels. But when they were in he was in the hospital, that there was 2 on one side and 1 on the other, and that they were like praying over him and keeping him safe. Yes, of course, we're all intuitive, right? And the more I'm realizing that the more, especially at these workshops, when the more I'm clearing my emotions and clearing the blockages, you're welcome, Judy, that, yeah, that I'm becoming more intuitive. We're all intuitive. We just need to, yeah, we need to heal our wounded selves. I mean, on a soul level, we're perfect, but on a human level, we do have some adjustments. Like, I mean, I think about you, Judy, right now, and there's other people who are having family stuff. You're welcome, sweetie. So anyways, my number 3 was surrendering to love. And Judy, this is for you too, is because you apologized for taking over the scope. Is this a problem? Is this not a problem, but is this a fear of yours, asking for help? Because that's one of mine. And I know I'm getting better at this, but sometimes, actually, I'm getting better at it when it makes sense. But when I really, really need to ask for help, I don't. I don't ask for help, because I don't even think about it. It's like that old conditioned, I can do it myself, I have to do it myself, that takes over. And then I don't even think that to ask for help. And so now that the more I'm becoming aware of my old patterns of having to do everything, even as a child, with you do for your kids, but not much for yourself. Yeah. Let's hope that this can start shifting when you start realizing your fears, and even just saying that out loud and realizing that we need to fill our cups full, so that then when it spills over, we're not depleted when we're taking care of, hello, but we're not depleted when we're taking care of others, right? Because yeah, if we're trying to give love and give support from an empty cup, what's left for us? And even really what's there for them if we're not taking care of our own needs. It's like, I always think back to, I think it was Wayne Dyer that talked about when you're in an airplane and the oxygen, like, the pressure gets out of whack and the oxygen masks come down, and say you had a little child with you, who do you give the oxygen first? Most mothers' response is, of course, my child. No, you cannot take care of them if you're dead or if you're passed out. So you need to give it to yourself first and then give to your child. That's a perfect analogy of how we have to live our lives. There's only us. That's who we're responsible for ourselves, and then whatever's left over. Or not so much what's left over, then we have so much more to give as soon as we take care of ourselves and our needs. Our needs being met is that's what I'm really learning. You've heard that before. Yeah. Are you ready to, actually, you know what? Just breathe that in right now, Judy. Just breathe that in, that you need to care, that you matter, that it's important for you too to take care of yourself, so that you can be of